And yeah, I am so excited to welcome you into our feedback session today where we are in harvest mode. We've just completed our 28 days boot camp of reclaiming your power. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's been an interesting one.
Yes, I'm really, really curious about also, well, let's start with what actually first attracted you to sign up for the boot camp?
Yeah, so I know you and the rest of the Smiling One team since I've been journeying with you before. So I've stayed with you for 6 weeks in Cape Town, doing some of the different projects for 1.5 years ago. So back then I learned about all these tools and I saw you work with it in the different projects. And then I've been doing a lot of thinking about it after that, but I was also a little stuck. I didn't have all the tools myself to continue the journey. So I think that's what I wanted to get out of this course, to get more practical.
Okay. And do you feel that you got what you came for?
Yes, definitely.
So
It's
maybe elaborate a little bit on that.
Yes, I think there was a lot of big takeouts from the course, but some of the concepts that I'm definitely gonna keep with me is the one to own my emotions and remember or remind myself that I'm responsible.
Mm.
It's my responsibility how I feel, and then act on that. I think I did a lot of thinking about and I identified some of my behaviors and my patterns, and I was definitely becoming more aware since getting to know the different concepts. But now I've started to understand them more.
Yeah.
So I've started to connect the dots, if you can say that,
Yes.
to do some more thinking about my life and my previous experiences and how they still impact me today, in order to better understand why I do these things. Because yeah, I have these behaviors and they are not all that good. So I want to work on them, but I didn't really know how to. So that's definitely.
Fantastic. So do you feel that in the boot camp you've kind of gotten a how-to tool, some techniques that helps you to actually tackle those things?
Yes, I think the tools are very practical, so you can actually apply them to whatever situation you're meeting or whatever challenge.
Yeah.
So I think they're very practical.
That's wonderful. So how is that going to change things for you then, Anja, in your life?
I hope that I know it's gonna take a lot of work, but I hope that I can better. Um, I've learned this thing about the pause. So it's important when I meet a challenge to pause, to not just react immediately, and then do the work myself and do some thinking, and then realize where it comes from and why I'm feeling these emotions instead of just reacting on them, and then it's done, and then you can't really do much about it. So just to remember to pause and
Mm.
do the work, and do all the thinking and getting to know myself better.
Absolutely. Hey, so it is really, starting and activating an inner inquiry. And that's what I hear beautifully, that you feel more equipped to be able to do that. Because if we don't pause, of course, we just often choose the old same route
Hmm.
that we always go, instead of actually using it as an invitation to deepen and getting to know who we are and who we're not, right?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
making better decisions in that space. So was there anything that surprised you in the boot camp?
Yes, I think after identifying some of these behaviors and choosing some things I would like to work more with,
Yeah,
it was very interesting to do some more thinking of why it
yeah.
is like that, why I react in these ways.
Mm.
Um, and I didn't knew it before. I didn't see my reactions in that way. So
Yeah,
uh, yeah, it just brought some deeper understanding of why I do these things, and I think that makes it easier to change how I react.
Absolutely. It's quite a phenomenal what we can do, right? I mean, when we, I often call it our inner housekeeping. Hey, when we really dig in and get to those spaces that we very often don't go back to or give some time. And that is important, because otherwise we just live very often an average life. What does average, so if you think about, and we use that term a lot in the boot camp, living average, and which is really also a place where we often underperform, where we're not fully showing up. How did that look in your life, and what did that then mean to reclaim your power? What has really significantly changed for you?
I think it's I felt stuck. So I knew I saw myself doing these things over and over again, and it just didn't really change. So to reclaim my power, I think means for me to be able to take charge in these situations and remember to pause and act the way I want to react in a situation instead of just letting my emotions go out there and
Lovely. Yes.
because that's not always then you might regret it after.
Yes, and it can be easy to talk about these things, but to actually, really go then have a tool and a practice in order to get there. I mean, of course, that is the power of the boot camp. And it doesn't take 28 days to resolve things. But do you feel that in 28 days that you get a good grip on what you need to do going forward?
Yes, I think now I've learned about the tools and we've
Yeah.
been exercising and getting to know them. So now I just have to keep applying them
Yes,
in my life.
because
So
it was a group space. It wasn't just a one-on-one space. So how was this group dynamic for you?
it was very both. It was great, but also a bit challenging. But you learn so much from it. The energy in the group has been very, very good. Everyone is very nice and welcoming, and it's a very safe space. And it's very new to me to be in a group like that. I've been observing groups like that when I was with you in Cape Town, but I haven't been part of it in that way. Um, but yeah, it was a very safe space for people to be honest. And I think because of that, we could learn a lot from each other.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I can hear that you felt held in the space, that you felt, and that's of course really, really important that the spaces do give that to you.
mhm.
Beautiful. So would you recommend this journey to others?
Yes, definitely. I think it's very important to become aware of these
Mm,
things. I'm very grateful that I've started this journey because I think it will have a big impact on me because it's very easy to just stay. It's hard to change these things, especially if you don't have the tools to do it.
yeah.
So I think it's very important, and I think it could benefit everyone to start in a process like this and work on themselves.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for showing up for the journey, for being part of the boot camp, for adding your beautiful energy. Because as we say, I mean, we can't actually do it on our own. It takes every single one to show up and add the ingredients and to support each other as we all awaken. So thank you. Thank you.